Boom. Hey, welcome, everybody. Super great to see all of you here today, joining me at the great time of, well, it is 3 p.m. Eastern. Hey, if you could turn on your cameras, that would be really, really awesome. So I could see you, you could see me, and we can get a lot of information done today. This is part two. And I'd love to know in the chat bar who made it to part one. If you made it to part one, give me a boom in the chat bar. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of people joining us as the hour goes on. And we're going to keep this tight but effective, very effective. So if you could let me know you know how to use the chat bar by typing a boom in there, that would be great. Part one was the economic ice age. That's what part one was. And today is the recession war room, which is interesting because, oh, hey, Jim, how are you? And Steve, nice to see you guys. Kevin, what's happening? Mike in the house, what's up? This is the reason why I'm doing the recession war room here is because we are in this very dynamic part of the world right now. Very interesting part of the world where I should say timing in the cycle of things. And I think people are being very blind to what's coming. And that's why I'm doing this. And that's why it's free, is to give back, because a lot of people are waiting for companies to have big problems. You know the game, right? When big companies have big problems, then they want you to have big problems. So they could come in and just swoop you up. And I rather you not have big problems, and I rather you win with less stress and more freedom. If that makes sense, type in freedom in the chat bar if that makes sense. And I do feel if you don't pay attention to what's happening today, then hey, Kim, nice to see you. If you don't pay attention to what's happening today, in 2008, we called it the Great Purge. And it was a great purge in 2008. It was not prejudiced to any industry at all in 2008. And it put a ton of pressure. I know because I was running a service company then. And it doesn't matter if you're a plumbing company or you sell a widget or you're a chiropractor, you're not prone, or you're not invisible to this new dynamic that's happening, which is winter. And that's why I want to do this recession war room here. And I'm going to give you very, very, very tactical things to put in place. And I hope right now you maybe team put the link for this. This is part two of the business briefing. If you could put the link in there, you should invite one of your friends, because a lot of you that are on here are already successful, which means your friends that are going to suffer are going to come to you. So it's best that we just help them now. And I had a lot of people say to me, you know, Mike, you're doing this master class, this training, and it's 3 p.m. How do we make it? We're working. I was like, you're a business owner. I mean, hang on a minute. You're not. You're an employee camouflaged calling yourself a business owner. Because if you can't get away for an hour to learn a very tactical, strategic way to help you win and not lose, because do you think the bigger companies are becoming smaller, or do you think the big companies are becoming bigger? Tell me in the chat bar. I know they're becoming bigger because that's why people come to us today, not just because we do life, business, wealth by design, because we have a track record of helping people who want to become bigger, faster, more profitable, with more money. But when companies become bigger, do you think, you guys play with me in the chat bar, do you think it gets easier for a small company or more difficult? What do you guys think? Easier or more difficult? It gets more difficult. And unless you're a company like I owned, And are any of you, I see some new names. I don't know everybody. Are any of you new in my world? Type in new if you're new or newer. Some of you have been in my world a long time. Hey, Tim, Anthony, Kevin. But if you're new in my world, I will share that a lot of what I'm sharing with you is not just what I built, because yeah, okay, so I built a $32 million company with 165 trucks. Most people, they struggle to just manage a $1 million company or getting to a million, or they struggle to manage 5 trucks or 10 trucks. And what I would say is people only struggle because they don't understand, right? They just don't understand the new dynamics. Today, I don't run a service company by choice, but I would navigate it just like I did when I had 165 trucks, doing 32 million a year and doing double-digit profit. I would manage it the same way I managed it when I sold the thing in 2017 for one of the highest multiples. And then the same way that I managed when I coached over 1,000 business owners, right? We did 35 3-day events, had over 20,000 people come through our trainings. And I sold that in 2020. And it's no different than the portfolio companies that I run today, or a lot of people that are in my world today that are winning, right? There is a strategy to win, and there is a clear strategy to lose. And the minute you're complacent and comfortable, you have a silent death that's happening. You do. Comfort does that. Comfort is it is a thing that starts to crush you without you even knowing you're being crushed. That's what comfort and complacency does to people today. And I've learned this, so I'm going to share with all of you today a bunch of different strategies. I'm going to want to ask what industry you're in, but right now we serve over 120 different industries. In my own business, I'm not bragging. Look, I've learned, I put in, I got the war scars, and some of you wouldn't believe me if I didn't have wisdom built over doing over 500 million. Okay, that's what my companies did, and that was as of 2020. So if you do the math, it way exceeds that today. And I just wish there was more people telling all of you, how do you avoid pain and suffering? And I'm going to get to those things, but type in the chat bar. I want to know 2 things from you guys in the chat. What industry are you in? What industry are you in? And what state do you live in, or country? Because I always have people that are in many different countries, and it's also nice to see some of my legacy members on here. Hey, Anthony, super great to see you here today. HVAC will be in, I'll talk about that in a minute, we'll be in Oklahoma in September. So Oklahoma's about to shake because we're bringing the power there. All right, Salon in Colorado, awesome. Home electrification on HVAC plumbing, California. There you go. New York, yep, cleaning service, setting up coaching biz, financial services. I love all of those, and I know all of them really well. And what I'm going to give to you, you'll either apply or you'll modify slightly and put right into action in your company. I do like to let everybody know, who this is for. So this training is for business owners, okay? So if you're a business owner, this training's gonna fit you perfect. It's for founders that are really tired of waiting to create their own economy. And I'm a creator of my own economy. I am a movement maker. That's why the last couple of decades, I have such a following of people. And it's really for entrepreneurs that are ready to play offense instead of defense. And a lot of you are probably already doing that. And I was doing a coaching call today because I do a whole lot of, private one-on-one coaching and different things. And on the coaching call today, I was explaining to the person, like, you're not outrunning technology. You're not. You're just not moving fast enough. And anything you don't outrun will overrun you. It will overrun you. And that's what we have with a lot of this AI stuff, is it's outrunning everybody and then it's crushing everybody. And the fact that you think you're playing around and you're sleeping with ChatGPT doesn't make you brilliant. It actually makes you dangerous, and you're not looking because they have you stuck in the widget that you're not seeing what's hidden within the weeds there, right? Who this training today is not going to be for, if you're hoping things will go back to normal, I got news for you. Type it in the chat bar. There's no back to normal, only the new norm. There's no back to normal. So if you, and look, I'm from the day, and looks like some of you might be from the day and some of you maybe not, but I'm from like pre-beeper. I think that's the best way to frame it, because some of you can't even comprehend that there was a day that there was no cell phones, right? So I'm pre-beeper. Is anybody else pre-beeper? Type in beeper in the chat bar. That meant you had to go to a pay phone or a phone with a 20-foot cord you drag through your house. And so I've watched, and I've started my business back, well, might have been beepers just coming in. So when I go back and look at this time, there is no back to normal, because the normal's been changing your entire life. The pandemic changed it, 2008 changed it, 9/11 changed it, everything changed it. And I feel like, and you tell me, do you know any business owners today that are clinging to 2020? Like, that's how it was done. Do you know anybody clinging to old practices? I mean, I just got, I just went and picked up my truck because I got an oil change and they rotated the tires. And the guy, they're still using like paper sheets, and they have computers, but you could tell it's really old, right? And it seems like entrepreneurs, people today are allergic to this pressure and change and truth. So this definitely is not going to be for anyone that wants to operate on hope, because try, hopes, and maybes are not going to help you. They're not. And leaders who freeze when decisions get hard, well, I got news for you. If you don't learn how to unfreeze and get tactical and strategic, this new norm is going to be wild over the next 24 to 36 months. Now, let me flip the other side for all of you. Why should you listen to me? Well, I mean, I did exit 2 companies in a 5-year period, and every one of them were high 8-figure companies. And I navigated through 9/11, the 2008, the COVID lockdown, the inflation and labor shortages, right? And I studied not just what I did, I studied the patterns of people. And I've helped create, they did the work, but I helped guide over now, it's well over 100 plus deca millionaires in the last 40 something months. And because I look at patterns, trends, behaviors, and habits of the people and the market and what's happening. Let's face it, the stock market is nothing more than an emotionally driven vehicle, right? If any of you are trying to bet on that, you're trying to bet on the behavior of your children. You just don't know. How many of you have children? Type in children in the chat bar. Like, you just probably shouldn't bet on what they'll do or won't do, because it's like the stock market. It's your very best guess. And I'm also, look, as much as I'm a believer in riding the long wave here, I'm also kind of a little impatient. I wanted to become wealthy, and I've been debt-free since I'm 28 years old. And I don't know how many more days. Oh, we're 27. So in 2 days, on May 29th, I'll be level 55. My son, who's on here, he'll be level 26. And I don't know about you, if you're just a little impatient, you just would like to have more money, but not more money, financial peace. Can you type in financial peace in the chat bar? Now, not everybody types it is actually being true, because I love watching The Holiday, and I watch more broke people take time off this last weekend. And I worked Saturday, I work Sunday. Now, I call it work for you. When you live within your soul's purpose and your passion, you don't take days off, because that's like saying you hate what you do. So I don't take days off because I love what I do every single day. I do it when I'm barbecuing. I do it when I'm with my wife. I do it when we walk to the beach down the road, because passion is a super magnet for wealth. And you might want to write that down. Hey, Hank, super nice to see you. Passion is that super highway to wealth. And I know a lot of people are just tired of waiting to win. And I want to give you, even though today is going to be very tactical and strategic, and I'm going to give you things either to watch in your own company or pay attention to or action items to do, all the things I wish people told me to do. And I'm going to give you those items to save you from this and get you. I want you to be patiently impatient to get to financial peace. Because when you get to financial peace, you could say no to anything you want to say no to, and yes to everything you want to say yes to. And everything you're repeating to yourself, you're creating anyway. There is no lack of employees. Actually, I looked at the population chart the other day, and I don't know, I think for every one death, there's 3 births. So there's no lack of population. Let's be clear. There's no lack of humans on planet Earth. There's only lack of leadership and skill. And when people are telling me, I still watch them still saying, I'll be 55. All right, Alex, level 55. Still saying it's hard to find good people. And I'm like, no, it's not. You're horrible at it. You don't know the strategies. You don't know the tactics. You don't understand humans. Because if you understood humans, you would have a waiting list of people to work for you. There's, oh no, but you don't know. Inside the trades, now I serve 120 different industries, from AI people, nutritionists, doctors. We got people that specialize in cybersecurity, insurance, people that own automobile repair shops. It's one of the gifts that we have at Food Dog Group is we're not a one-trick pony. I used to be a dancing bear one-trick pony, being an electrician by trade, and got my electrical license, and I had my inspector's license. I only got my inspector's license so I could fist fight with the inspectors because I was so tired of them bullying me around and stuff. But the gift of all these different industries and not being a one-trick pony of a best practice organization like I used to be is I used to only have one perspective, one box. And now I got 120 boxes of information. And that became my super highway. And you might want to write a note here. My super highway was to take things from other industries that no one else was doing, put it in my industry. Jay Abraham taught me that a long time ago. If you don't know Jay Abraham, he's one of the highest paid consultants on earth. And I paid him for 3.5 years to one-on-one coach me, because if you want to be the best in the world, you invest in knowledge to become the best in the world. Otherwise, no one makes more by learning less. If you agree, type in agree in the chat bar. Do any of you make more money by learning less? No, nobody. And nobody makes more money by less alignment. They make more money by more alignment. I know that because when me and my wife are aligned, my beautiful wife who's on here, we've been together, it's 4 decades now, since we're 15 years old. When we're always aligned, and in the beginning, maybe not so much, but for a very long time now, when we're aligned, we create massive wealth. When we're not aligned, we did not create massive wealth. So alignment is really key for this. And I just wanted to throw that out there. I do have a couple things. I hope I could share it. I'm going to share it right now. And then I'm going to go into oh, you know what? Let me do this first, because this will be better for you guys. Let me give you a little recap on some of the indicators from the first one that we did. And here's one of I look for what's called recession signals. But I want to let you know, I'm not worried about recessions, because some of the biggest money I've made was either during a recession or coming out of a recession. So I know how the trends and cycles and patterns go. The only people that panic are the people that are untrained about the patterns of what's coming. And more wealthy people will be created from now to 2030 than ever in history. Greater than the 1900s in the industrial age, more people. But on the flip side, more people that you know are going to become broke and out of business. Consumer confidence has dropped, okay? Consumer confidence dropped, and they're talking about 15,000 plus store closures, stores closing down. Yeah, right now. You know what I mean? Right now, in 2025. So that's a interesting thing, because when one thing closes, it allows something else to open. And wealth follows collapses. And you might want to write that down. Wealth follows collapses. And if you're prepared, just remember, like, I mean, in 2008, 2009, they called it the Great Recession. It was the closest thing to the great, closest thing to a depression that probably a lot of us have felt. But US millionaire households increased in that time from 2009 to 2010. Check this out. US millionaire households increased by 16% right after the crash. Type in the chat bar, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? It tells you that recessions are opportunities, not consequences, right? And in 2008, Amazon stock, I bet some of you wish you figured out Amazon, right? But let's not take anything from him. I mean, he did what most of you would never do, right? He did what most of us would never do. He did what people thought was crazy, and then it became amazing. So now, you know, do any of you on here actually never buy anything from Amazon? I'm just curious. Just type it in the chat bar. But the Amazon stock rose from $35 in 2008 to over $300 by 2014. A 750% gain. Alex, never on Amazon? I'm just going to send you something from Amazon. Someone, make sure we send him a book from Amazon. I don't want him to feel left out. Let's make Bezos some money here. But if you look at that, if you knew a stock was going to go from 35 to 300, tell me in the chat bar, what would you do? You sell your house, you'd sell your dog, you would sell your car, you sell your computer, you'd sell everything and put it all in. Well, here's my question. How certain are you on your own skills? And are you all in on you? Because no matter what I delivered today, if you're not all in on you, you're all out. And you might want to write that one down, but you might want to highlight it and circle. If you're not all in on you, you're probably all out. Now, also, if you look at some of the things that were founded during the recession window, Airbnb, right? Uber, Slack, WhatsApp. I mean, the worst economic collapse in generation became the launch pad for a new class of tech, tech and real estate millionaires. Now, let's look at this. If it became a new world of tech outside of the recession, what do you see? Tell me in the chat bar. What do you see happening right now with tech? With tech, tell me. You know what's happening. We're in a tech super world right now. That's number one. What are you seeing globally, at least in the United States? If you're in the United States, what are you seeing with real estate prices for homes that are 3 to 10 million? What are you seeing? Homes that are 3 to 10 million. Well, I'll tell you what you're seeing. At least I see it all around here. Homes that are 3 to 10 million, they're going on the market all around. I'm looking. Virginia Beach on the market. Jersey Shore on the market. North Carolina Beach on the market. Maine on the market. All of these $3 to $10 million properties on the market. Well, on the market. What does that tell you about real estate? And last time I was on Zillow, it was showing people reducing their cost. To me, this is the tech opportunity of superhighway. Now, you don't need to be AI to make a fortune. You don't. You need to leverage your superpowers. I know my superpowers. We're the best in the world at guiding people on how to do life, business, and wealth by design. Because if it's not by design, it's by default. And we are masters at marketing, sales, operation, systems, understanding the human mind. We understand lead generation better than I'll go on TV and battle against people. We understand sales and serving on a psychological level of it. We understand operations and culture And we understand that clapping in a company and playing fun music videos does not change the world. It doesn't change it there, right? Now, what does Warren Buffett say? Let's see if you can answer it. He says, be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful, right? That's what I'm gonna dump that in the chat bar for you, because I want you actually to read this, and I want you to read it over and over. Those of you not on camera, I'd love for you to be on camera so I don't feel so weird. But if not, if you're naked or something, please just leave it off. How about Ray Dalio? There's a smart dude there, right? The economy runs like a machine. If you understand the cause and effect relationship and how the levers work, you can navigate anything, even chaos. How about that? Right? I should read that one again. I'm going to dump it. Let me put that in there for you, because you should consider writing this one down and share it with your team. There it is. Look at it. The economy runs like a machine. It is a machine. It's predictable. At least a lot of it's predictable. Maybe you don't know the effects of pandemics, but look, COVID wasn't the first pandemic the world's ever experienced. Did you think there would never be one? I mean, who sat there and said, I bet there will never be another pandemic or something? Created or not created, that's your own belief. But the economy runs like a machine. If you understand the cause and effect relationship and how the levers work, you can navigate anything, even chaos. All right. Hey, everybody, let's get into strategies here. If you're ready for these strategies, can you give me a boom in the chat bar? If you're not ready for strategies, well, get the hell ready, because we're going to do it. We're going to do it no matter what. All right. So the first part right now that we need to focus on in this this war against this recession war room that made me want to build this for all of you, because I've been through multiple recessions now, is the first part is you have to take back control. And I believe so. Take back control. And I think a lot of people have this, what you control versus what controls you. And you have to shift to a command style thinking right now. And I think there's a couple of people, they're in a controlled thinking is one thing that they're in. And some people are in a victim thinking, right? But you got to take back control. And if you were, since most of you have been in my world, what is something that has control over you? Is it the agency that you're paying for leads, you're not getting it? What do they say? The animals own the asylum or something? Is it your culture doesn't believe in change and where you're going? The children, okay. Why do when I hear, movies have programmed you, when I hear the word the children, I always think the Children of the Corn. What a creepy effing movie that was, right? That's why people probably should become, owners of guns and weapons. Those of you that don't believe in weapons, hey, don't do it. Just be thankful that some of us have it. We'll protect you. That's our job, to save you from yourself. But let's shift to a command thinking, right? A command thinking. And a command thinking is helping people, helping them see how they think. Remember, the world is layered with trauma. I just had someone the other day on social media, and I reach out to people because that's just who I am. And so if you ever private message me on Facebook, it's not a robot, it's not AI, it's me. You could test me on that. I believe in you too much and respect you too much to have some robot respond to my personal Facebook. And the guy's suffering with sickness and disease and all these things he's battling, and pains and aches and arm aches and this and that. And all I did was ask him one question: do you have trauma? And he said, tons of it. And I said, well, the doctor is not going to tell you to fix that. But if you don't fix that, and here's what I learned, and I want you to really focus in on me. Pay attention. People have sales trauma, marketing trauma, business building trauma. 2008 created damn trauma. People's divorces created trauma. Now, I'm not here to trigger your divorce from 30 years ago or whatever, but I hear people tell me, oh, you don't know, You don't know, Mike. I was divorced. I'm like, oh my God, it sounds horrible. When? 30 years ago. I'm like, well, you haven't figured it out 30 years later. Trillions of dollars all over the world, billions of people on the planet, no lack of opportunity. I get it. It's not that you don't want to figure it out. You're just suffering from trauma. How many of you, if you would be honest with me, you have marketing trauma? You paid for something in marketing and you got your ass handed to you. Come on, just type in something in the chat bar so I know, right? You were like the magazine, the billboard, the TV, the banner ads, right? Yeah, Diego, what's happening, Larry? And so now if someone tells you, just like event trauma, how many of you went to some event? Well, first off, you paid $97. What the F did you think you were going to get? You're going to get motivation. You're going to clap for 3 days, high five a bunch of people that act like your friends. They'll never reach out to you again. You do nothing. And you thought $97 was going to change your life? $97 didn't change anybody's life, right? If I thought that, I mean, we'll invest here at the Food Dog. We'll invest, I don't know, $350,000 this year in education between, we have 6 or 7 coaches now. You know why? Because the way you get to command thinking is by removing trauma and putting in new thinking. You should write that down. Because some of you are just driven by the belief systems of your parents. Now, I want you to make a bold decision, and you don't have to tell me in the chat bar, but what's 3 tactical decisions you can make in the next 24 hours? Tactical means clear, precise, action-driven, right? You know exactly what the outcome's going to be. And I just did a post something like perfection is the new poverty, right? Isn't that true? Because if you're trying to be perfect at something, you're slowing it down. You're slowed down. Now, the biggest stalled decision is the next one you need to make. I watch people, I'm afraid to hire someone. What if I run out of jobs? I'm like, what if you never hire somebody and you die doing what you're doing? That's hard. That sounds worse to me. Well, what if and then I got people, they say, oh, I got debt. I said, no, you don't. You got a poverty mindset. You don't have debt. The billionaires and multimillionaires don't run around saying I got debt. They say I have leverage. And I want you to write that down. They don't sit there and go, I got debt and I got credit card bills. I'm like, no. You borrowed money to get an outcome and you didn't get the final outcome you wanted, which now you need to be more tactical and strategic to leverage it. I love my credit card. I love American Express. You know why? Where else? I mean, I buy stuff, I pay off the card. I have not carried a balance on a credit card my entire life. My entire life, I've never carried. Because my dad said, if you put stuff on the card, pay the damn thing off. He's not around no more. He passed a couple years ago, but it still resonates. Don't carry a balance. I've never carried, and I'm guessing, let me see. I'll ask my son. Let's see if he'll type in the chat bar, and he'll only be truthful if he does or not. Ask him, do you carry a balance, Michael? Let's see if he carries a balance on his credit card. I know the answer because he tells me. He tells me. I know he doesn't carry no. He's 26, never carried a balance on his credit card. You know why? That's called leverage. I give you money, I pay it. You give me points, I buy shit for free. Thank you, Amazon. Thank you, American Express. Thank you, Visa. But you have to make this, you have to take the biggest stalled decision. I promise you, no matter how dark and deep it is, there is always light when somebody shows you the light. You guys know, a lot of you know me for a long time. I got all the damn lawsuits. I have the $4 million lawsuit, settled at $1 million, thought it'd put me out of business. I got the 5 employees, key employees quit 1 week. That happened to me twice. My general manager started a business while working for me. He tried to screw me over, tried to take 15 of my top employees. I've been through it. I have the trucks crash. They hit the bridges. They flipped over. They almost canceled insurance. I had 140 trucks. They're saying we can't insure you. I got it. It's either an excuse. Write this down. It's either an excuse or it's a power. If it's an excuse, it holds you back. If it's a power, it motivates you. It energizes you. We got to keep going here. I got a lot more to cover with you guys. So that whole strategy was what I call war room mentality. War room mentality, right? Take back control and demand it. I don't know, so many of you asking like, what are you waiting for? Permission? Now, if you're new in my world, I don't get less intense. I only get more. So if you don't love intensity and you're looking for kumbaya stuff, I would just tell you, bounce now, flip me the middle finger. I still love you and I'll help you. But if intensity, hey, Matt Pillis, what's up? He's used to me. He knows me over a decade. He's wondering why I'm not more intense right now. I'm getting warmed up, Matt. Don't you worry about a thing. Okay, next thing, fortify cash flow without losing momentum. Let me say it again. Fortify cash flow without losing momentum. What does that mean? I learned a phrase a long time ago. I didn't make it up, but I don't remember who taught it to me either. They said, cut the fat, keep the muscle. Cut the fat, keep the muscle. Now, when you look at the fat, which by the way, I had a steak, which was delicious, but it had too much fat and I don't eat a lot of fat. So I cut the shit off, which reminded me of this strategy, cut the fat, eat the best part of steak. Now, my dad, he ate all the fat. He also, what do you want me to tell you? He had heart problems too. So he probably should have ate less damn fat, right? Even though it tastes good, it doesn't mean it's always good for you. Now, the muscle is, you got to do an evaluation. You got to do an evaluation of every aspect of your company. Look at every area. Look at the before areas, all your marketing. I watch people, I'm doing marketing and I'm not getting enough leads. I said, okay, well, what ones are giving you leads? I don't know. I said, come on, you got to get a report. Give me a report. Why do email? Okay, well, what kind of email? What's the open rate? What's the headline? What do they do next? Do they click on links on the bottom? You know, I can't make a decision off of your emotional driven behavior. I need the stats. Yeah, well, you know, my people can't sell. No, they can sell. You've yet to sell them on the purpose and the vision. Okay, the problem is not the people, it's your skill, right? So I want you to analyze, and all of you should have an organizational chart. I don't care if you are one person. I don't even care if you're starting a business. You know how you start a business? You create an organizational chart and your damn name's in every box. That's okay, because your goal is to scale and get your name out of damn boxes, right? I wonder if I have one to show. Hang on. Let me see if I could do a little show and tell for you. Oh, well, this is my actual one. Hey, Aaron, if somebody could throw me, if anybody's on, throw me the org chart in chats and just tell me when it's there. I'd love to share the one that we share with people. And I want to show you, you can take a snapshot of the screen if you want, because I believe that this organizational chart fits, you know, it fits for all of you. It fits for all of you, and you could just modify it. So I'll let you take a snapshot of the thing. So when they find it, they'll tag me. Just message me in the bar there. So in order for you to cut the fat and keep the muscle, you need an organizational chart. You need a daily report and tracking and projections. Now, I'm going to give you two pieces for every one of you that run a company. There's something that has to happen. And when I say has to, I can only give it to you as a consideration. But if I do it and it helped me, I think it will help you. You need to have a projection for tomorrow. And let's see how many of you will be honest for me. I got to move this so I could see your chat bar. So I can see the chat bar. And I'll grab the org chart so you'll answer for me. How many of you, before you went to bed last night, you said, my projection tomorrow, my projection for revenue, leads, conversion, it was 100%. Tell me. So Larry says weekly projections every Monday. Okay, Larry, I want you to consider something. See, weekly projections on Monday is then an art of trying to course correct, which most people, not you probably, most people try to do it at the end of the week. I ran every company, projection the night before, reality the end of the day. And I want to report either from managers, dispatchers, I don't care who does it. At the end of the day, 8 p.m., I want to report. But here's the thing, Matt, and you probably do this. I want to know, what did we do to win? And what are you doing to course correct? If you're not giving me, see, the report alone is useless. That's information. Transformation is, I want to know this. You had a projection. Did you meet it? Why did you meet it? Tell me why you met it. If you didn't meet the projection, I want you to tell me why we didn't meet. Okay, let me get this org chart. Why you didn't meet the projection. Now, not you guys are smart. That's why you're here. But what I've noticed by coaching over 1,000 business owners is that the majority of them have a projection, they get daily reporting, and they don't make actions on it. They don't know what actions to do with it. They don't ever course correct, because if you're 3,000 short today, guess what? I need to make 3,000 more tomorrow. I have to make 3,000 more tomorrow. And I found that most companies that are not scaling to the size they want, they have a leadership skill set gap. And the gap is they might look at numbers, but they don't know what the hell to do with it, right? Or they look at numbers. Look, how many people, I'll use the service industry because maybe a lot of you, but everybody, it doesn't matter if you're a chiropractor or a plumber, it doesn't matter. But when I look at it and I have people tell me the first quarter of the year always sucks, I'm like, no. The first quarter doesn't have a problem at all. You have a problem because you've been doing this 20 years, which means if you had anything repeating over the last 20 years, well, you're either ignoring or you don't want to learn how to do it different. And the world's conditioned people. In my one business, they used to call it shoulder season. And one day I said to myself, what if that doesn't have to be real? And then I learned more how to do marketing and sales and engage with customers. And then I never had a shoulder season again for a decade. No shoulder season. Why? Because businesses that are say that they're weather driven are normally led by shitty marketers. Okay? They're led by shitty marketers. If you're a good marketer, there's no lack of business. If you're a bad marketer, there's lack of skill. I don't know how to tell you. That's why we did the damn training called Marketing Power. Did any of you attend Marketing Power? I told you the highest level marketing on that damn thing that I learned from decades of doing this. And when you're a marketer, you produce leads from the air. Okay, let me show you this because I want to get back on track. Here's an organizational chart, right? Now, this is built for an actual business. This is called Food Dog Service because, you know, we built a whole company, whole service company. I'm not sure if I'll run it someday and where we might open it in the world. Who knows? But it shows you, I'm not going to go through this because this would take us, you know, a couple hours to really deep dive into it. But even if you're a brand new company starting, you want an organizational chart, put your damn name in all of it. And later you'll start to take names out of it and put names in because you have to have it to have it. Somebody taught me that a long time ago. They said you have to have it to have it. And that means if you want to scale, well, you probably won't do it by doing it all by yourself, right? How many of you are still trying to do that? You're trying to be a lone ranger. I wanted to show you something else. You try to be a lone ranger, right? That's why, like, I built, you guys will benefit from this. I found this the other day. Look at this. I thought this was cool. Are any of you in the HVAC business at all? Do you do HVAC at all? I thought this was so cool. I'm going to share it because I tripped across it the other day. Look at this. I thought this was such a clear, clean marketing thing we did right there. Isn't that just such a great message? Tell me in the chat bar. Can I get a little kudos? I don't know what year this is. I mean, I was doing stuff like this a decade ago, but isn't it just like, it's like an air conditioner on a beach, a condenser. You guys know, those of you that don't know, that's the part that's helped cooling your house. If you don't know what that box is on the left. And on the right is a beach chair. And then there's a gold medal umbrella, which we had some gold medal umbrellas made, Mike. You know why? Because they were really affordable. And we just went on the beach and we gave gold medal umbrellas like that. And then we looked and it was like, how cool was it? All these gold medal umbrellas made a great photo shoot. And we were dominators. Everything I did, I'm a movement creator and a dominator. So I found that. I thought that was really cool. If that was a cool share, can you type in cool in the chat bar? Cool. Just like an air conditioner. There you go, everybody. You're allowing me to have fun with myself right now. And then I came across one more. Now this I thought was interesting. It's only because I tripped across it. You could apply this strategy to any business, but I thought, let's see, there's probably a year. Is there a year on this thing? Well, I don't know the damn year of it, but it was a long time ago. And if you guys remember, there was this R22. Some of you don't know what the hell it is, but they were getting rid of refrigerant. Do you remember this, Mike? They were getting rid of refrigerant. I use this strategy in probably 40 different industries that have things that are going away. Like they implement new safety things, or there's new insurance policies or new building policies. So this strategy I have leveraged anytime government or something is changing a big protocol. I ask how to leverage it. Like right now, there's a lot of words on what's the shit they're putting in the air. I just saw it. I wanted to tell Aaron because Aaron lives in Canada, and they said Canada is, well, this is my words, they're healing everybody. So they're putting the stuff that kills viruses in the air. I don't know if it's true or not, but chemtrails, right? So any of you that do indoor air quality and aren't leveraging damn chemtrails, what a waste of your missing momentum. I mean, you might as well call it the obvious. But look at this, Matt. This is, I don't remember what year this is. Maybe you guys could tell me, but look, this was a home alert awareness, right? You see the power of that? Like awareness. You better get this done because this stuff's going to be banned. And when you hear banned, you say to yourself, oh my goodness, what's happening? I don't even know what my mom would be like. I don't even know what that is, but I wonder if I should be concerned. And she knows she has an air conditioner, so she would call, right? All right, so we have fortify cash flow without losing momentum, which projection versus reality, cut the fat, keep the muscle, and AR reduction. So if people owe you money, don't let them owe you money. Let them pay their bills, right? So that's that strategy. I have more strategies I would love to teach you guys. Would you be cool like staying a little longer? Hey, Jim Padilla in the house. Hey, Lori, nice to see you. If you guys are cool staying a little longer, I'd love to stay a little longer with you guys. Just tell me in the chat bar if you got to go, because I do want to give you a couple more strategies. And those of you that are just joining, in case you didn't hear it, and we have one more spot left at our Business Power training in New Jersey. So if you're moving slow and the PE firms and big companies are stepping on your throat, even if you don't know it, I'm the ultimate equalizer. Call me the underdog trainer. Come to me and I'll help you out. All right, let's do another one. So this one is you want to operate leaner, smarter, faster. Leaner, smarter, faster. And decision speed, okay, decision speed is your advantage. How do you make decision speed? You have to have a decision-making criteria. You need a decision-making criteria. And most people don't have one for their life or for their company. They have a emotional decision-making criteria, not a tactical decision-making criteria. When I look at making a decision, I want to know some things like, what does it do for my team, right? What does it do for my clients? What does it do for my company? What does it do for my life, my owners? And so I would challenge all of you well, let's do a poll real quick. How many of you have a documented SOP decision-making criteria that every one of your employees have, that before they bring you anything, they go through the checklist and say, here's why we need to buy this, do this, take this on? Give me a yes or give me a soon. A soon means you're going to do it because it makes logical sense. And a yes means congrats. But a lot of people don't do it, and that's okay. That's why you're here, so you can put this in place. You don't scale to 200 employees, 165 trucks, 32 million tracking for 40 and doing 500 million unless you have clear decision-making criteria, right? That's why a lot of people have us in their world, because we're like their board of advisors, and they go like this: does my board of advisors agree? See, you go back 3 decades ago, you had to do all this yourself. And maybe You took on a business partner. Anybody have a partnership go bad? Good luck at the doctors, Kim. Type in a pissed face. Did you ever have a partnership go bad? If you did, well, then you know that a lot of people, to not be alone, they grabbed partnerships. But see, the big PE firms in this stuff, they have what's called board of advisors, right? That's what we've become for companies, is why make a decision like, let us help you make the decision, except we won't take your soul, right? We won't take, 50 or 60% of the company, promise you you'll be rich. And then one day, Channel 7 News, and that didn't work out so well. Did you ever hear that before? Tell me in the chat bar. When you have a board of advisors, they get to look. You move this fast. You got your decision-making criteria. You go to really smart people. This is what I want to do. They leverage all their wisdom. You win quicker. All right. Also under leaner, smarter, and faster, you got to build lean systems. Every system, you want a minimum output of 3, 1 to 3. That's baby food stuff. Okay. Like if I do one marketing piece, I want 3 outputs, not 3 leads. I want 3 ways to minimize leverage that for outputs. Everything you do, you buy a truck, a computer, I don't care what it is, vitamins, I want it to optimize. I want it to multiply. Because if everything you do, you multiply by 3, you have a scalability, you have a compound effect. So ask yourself, if I take this next call, if I do this next text, I'm hoping that watching this training alone here is going to give you a multiple of 3. And we already talked about the org chart, but I want to give you one more thing, and we'll see who has it. So we'll do a little poll on it. How many of you have a documented accountability chart? Type in accountability if you do. 99% of the people don't. See, an org chart tells you what they do. An accountability chart tells you what their top KPI is, so everybody knows. It says if I walk into your company or if I do a virtual onsite, one of the things I'm going to ask for, what's your org chart? What's your accountability chart? And when I look at, if you don't have an accountability chart, well, how the hell do you want to hold people accountable if you don't have it? You need the accountability chart so I could go, oh, so Lisa her sole purpose is to have a 80+ conversion on the phones, to maximize the opportunity of revenue, whatever it is. But if you don't have it, and that's phrase, I've been saying this phrase for over 30 years. So write it down if you never heard it. If you did, hear it like it's brand new. If it's not written, it's not real. It's not written, it's not real. And people tell me, oh, I know that. I say, show me in writing, because if it's not in writing, it's not repeatable. Because the day you're not around, it just can't happen. It just won't happen, right? Okay, next thing. All right, this is my last one, and then I'll tie a big ribbon around this for you guys. This is maybe one of the biggest things that I'm going to cover, and that's why I have it right at the end for you, is because I'm seeing, we know that we have chaos. There's 2 types of chaos. There's defined chaos and undefined chaos. Write it down, everybody. Do you have some notes? Do you have at least a page of notes and some actions? Tell me in the chat bar. Do you have some actions? The undefined chaos, is chaos that you don't know is happening. It's chaos that you're not predicting could be going on. Like, if I do this, what could happen? The question to ask yourself is this: what don't I see? Did you write that down? What don't I see? I'm going to do this marketing. What don't I see? I'm going to hire this agency. What don't I see? I'm going to hire this employee. What don't I see? That is that's the chaos that's unidentified. But then there's chaos that is identified. I see it. It's cause. There's drama in the company. There's drama in my world. There's drama in your family, maybe. And that's identified chaos. Now, I believe that leadership is going to be defined in 3 roles. Is going to be leadership. Because AI is really changing the dynamic, my new belief system is that your company is going to have managers, right? And let's just put C-level. If you don't know what C-level means, a CEO, COO, CFO, CMO, right? You have your, chief financial officer and chief operations officer. So let's put them all as management functions. And all of your companies are going to have these management functions to scale. I then believe you're going to have captains. You're going to have captains that are helping steer the ship. You have the managers saying, here's where we're going. The captains are driving. And number three, you're going to have coaches. And coaches are going to be the ones that are saying, motivating you, and we could do this and we can navigate that. And the last one, you're going to have consultants. And consultants are going to be like the Wizard of Oz. It's going to be the great Oz behind the curtain. It's going to be wisdom. ChatGPT is not going to be your consultant. That's going to be knowledge, right? Consultants are going to be your wisdom. And so if you look at how the organizational chart's going to change in the future, you're going to have these managers, these captains, these coaches, and these consultants. And normally it starts with the two and squeezes in the middle. Normally it starts with a manager, which is owner, CEO. You're the founder, the creator of the company. It then goes consultant because you want to make the right moves at the right time. So you hire the consultant, you hire the source. That's why people reach out to us every week and join our world, because they want to know how to build something. They don't know how. So if they own the company and we guide them, we fill in the middle gaps, right? So you want to, the other part of lead out of this chaos is I want you to write down the word certainty. And certainty is to have yourself leading in this place of knowing that you're going to make the best decisions at the best time with the best people, with the best resources and the best tools. That's what you're going to do. Some people are joining now. Well, that's good. You're going to get the end, which is good. Maybe we'll share the replay. Does anybody want the replay? Type in replay if you want it. I don't know if we're sharing all the replays, but maybe we'll share it if enough of you want it, because I think you should play it with your damn management people for sure. And if any of you are looking, I am doing more besides the virtual on-sites and all the trainings we're doing. I'm doing some specialty speaking for companies. Depending where you're at, think about me if you think I could just come in and, help them up-level their skills. But, which leads me to the next part of Lead with Certainty is invest in reskilling and upskilling your teams right now. When? Type in now in the chat bar, everybody. Type in now in the chat bar. If you're not reskilling and upskilling your team, well, then you're saying they're expendable. And for me, in my world, we have team right now. I don't know what we have, 17, 18, whatever, team members. We have them in 6 different countries. We run them. Our whole team is virtual all over the damn globe today. And they're not expendable to me. They have a choice. They can hang out with anybody, but they choose to hang out with me and my partner, Aaron, and my business partner, my wife, Jennifer. They choose to be with us. Why? Because I'm looking out at their future, which means I'm reskilling and upskilling them all the time. So how do you lead with certainty, even with chaos that's identified and unidentified? You start to think, what are your managers? What are your consultants? What are going to be your captains? What are going to be your coaches? How do I reskill and how do I upskill? Can I get a boom in the chat bar, please? Can I get a boom in the chat bar? Because I wanted this, just like everything we do, to be massive value. And I wanted it to be the lowest damn entry point ever, which is free. It's free. But your time is not free, and I'm not taking that for granted. I don't. I respect you for dedicating your time to want to improve, because I know you're fighting for. I mean, what's your biggest thing you're fighting for? Besides yourself, is it your family? Is it your parents? Is it the world? Is it your children's future? Because, man, we better start paying attention. Matt Pillis, yeah, our family. And I want to be part of helping you with that, because that's what's most important to me too. Because look, you guys will all make money over time. You all go to Disney and whatever the hell. you go to, you'll go do all that stuff. But in the end, we all know that family, and that's important to us. So if any of you are ever considering what we do, you should know a little bit about us if you're new to our world. Our world, if you come to any of our trainings, there's no drugs, no alcohol. I don't care what kind of car you have. I'm not impressed by your watch. And you don't have to lift up and show me your six pack, because I'm not interested in touching your naked skin. So if you're in my world, you know, family driven, and we just want to help you go to the next level. Okay, here's some next steps for all of you. This is part 2 of the 3-part briefing. Okay, this is part 2. Part 1 was the economic ice age. And if you didn't watch that, team, give them a link to go watch that replay, okay? Or wherever they got to go for it. So I want you to go back, watch part 1, the economic ice age. These are stacking on each other. Then I'll get all of you the replay. We'll tell you, and one of my team members, Roxy, will probably reach out to you. We'll get you part 2. And then part 3 is, you will not want to miss part 3. How do I know? Like, even if your kid's talking about getting married on that day, or you're getting married, you're going to want to move your wedding to the day before or day after. I promise you. Because the last one, and I'm pretty sure we have the date of it. If we do, they'll tell you. Oh, there it is, June 24th. It's called The Rise of the New Wealthy. The Rise of the New Wealthy. And I'm going to bring you all the wealth strategies that are being created and all the opportunities that you can leverage. I don't care if it's any of the 120 plus industries we're in. I'm going to give you the wealth strategies that we're doing today, right now. I'm going to give it to you then. But here's the fact. You might be saying to yourself, F you, Mike, give it to me now. If you didn't apply business briefing number 1, and you don't apply this here too, I could tell you the most brilliant wealth strategies that I'm using myself. It's just not going to work, because you're going to have things out of place. Okay. So I'm not intentionally trying to hold you back from anything. I'm not. I want to give it to you in a logical order that helps you win, because we don't take this lightly at Food Dog Group. And I hope you'll share us a little bit. If you thought we delivered for you and we're serving you, I hope you'll share on social media and at least tell people, hey, go check out Food Dog Group, because I am fighting for your family with you. I promise you that. And after doing 500 million, I can guarantee I'm not here because we need it. I'm here because this is what we live for. Change your life. Okay. So this is what recessions erase the timid. They do. You should write that down. Recessions erase the timid. They reward the prepared. And you've already seen the signals, and now it's time to lead. So what I'd like you to do is decide right now that you're going to win and do what it takes. I want you to move forward and get momentum and get energy. And then I want you to effing win. Win. You know why? Because, you know, we're like over here at Food Dog Group, our kryptonite is business owners suffering. And our superpowers are business owners scaling and winning and serving their families. So if you don't want to be our kryptonite, which I know you didn't show up to hang out with me because you wanted to be kryptonite for me and our team here at Food Dog Group, then I want you to be our super energizer. So if you could look through your notes real quick and write down something in the chat bar that you're going to implement today. If you'll do that for us, you'll charge me up and I'll be super excited for the rest of my day. If you don't put anything, I'm going to cry myself to sleep feeling that I let you down. No, I'm not going to cry, but I'm not going to feel as good. So if you're on camera or not, do me a favor. Go in the chat bar, type in what's a big action item. And I know some of you are working and stuff. So if you're working, I'm just going to lock into your mind. Okay, thank you. I got that. But for those of you not working, adding course correct to my, yes, end of day report. That's right, Matt. End of day for me. I want to know this. How should I feel about that's the question I always ask. How should I feel about that? Tell me the projection tomorrow and tell me the course correction we're going to do, right? Okay, energies and connect. All right, couple more of you. Come on, let's put it in there. Give me something there. Hey, Dave Dolick, super nice to see you, working hard. There you go. Don't stop. Don't stop. Okay, leadership skill set gap. Yes, Stephen. Perfect. Jim Padilla, blue is a good color on you, man. That's a nice shirt. I love that shirt. Okay, finish the org chart. Yes, Heather, let's get it done. And then you'll build the accountability chart. Heather, then we'll get the accountability chart built. All right. Hey, everybody, it's been my complete honor. Some of you, I can't wait to see you. You're coming to Business Power New Jersey, 3 days. We're going to knock it out of the park. Your life will never be the same again. I got one spot open. Any of you interested? Boom, hit me up. Otherwise, check out the events page. We got great stuff. And ask me, we're friends. So make sure we're friends on Facebook. And that's the best place to message me and see where I'm hanging out. All right, everybody. Boom. Boom. All right. Hey, super excited to see everybody. Welcome to tonight's session. If you give me a big boom in the chat bar, hey, if your camera's not on, I'd love for you to turn on your camera. It definitely makes a lot more fun for me if I could see you and you could see me. It makes it a great evening together here. And I want to set a little stage for you guys. Well, first off, why don't you type in where are you from and what do you do for a living? Are you an executive? Do you career? Are you a business owner? And of what? And put it in the chat bar. Hey, Gene, super nice to see you. Let me see. Ryan in the house. Dalton, what's going on? Matt, what's up? Jason. All right. Hey, Quincy, Lisa. A lot of you on the road, but not wanting to miss this. Look like Chris and Kelly. Hey, nice to see you guys. Chad, what's going on? Tim DeHart, and I'm sure we'll have a bunch of you jumping in here. So super excited. Let's see what we got in Minnesota. Yep, electrical service. We got people from all over here. Well, when I was thinking about doing this session called Sales Rewired, I want to make sure that we leave today with some clear action items. And if you've been in my world, is anybody new to my world? Type in new if you're new. And if you're not new, how long have you been in my world? Is it my wife's going to win, just so you know, because my beautiful wife, Jennifer, our video, we actually got to change it because it says for almost 4 decades, but it's 4 decades this year. So it's my beautiful wife and I have been together for 40 years since we're 15 years old. And so that's super exciting for us. And let's see who's new. Hey, Mike, welcome to our world. You got a great name, Mike. It's one of my favorite names also. Dalton, Daryl, glad you guys are here. Unlike a lot of workshops or little trainings, in the next 60 minutes, I have to give some foundational stuff. And those of you that been in my world for a while, can you just give me a boom if it's okay if I give a little foundational stuff about me? Because the new people, I don't know about you, when I'm new and I jump on a training, I'm like, what's this? Who's this? Is he going to just be sitting there, show me a 6-pack, and does he want to just show off his damn Lamborghini or whatever? And so I know new people, the only reason they're going to stay here is because, one, I got to build at least a little bit of credibility and authority, because why would you even listen to me, right? Why would you show up? And the reason why I called it Sales Rewired is because not only, and let me grab, if it's cool with you, I'll do a little show and tell just to maybe, for a little bit of a credibility here. Where I really started to figure out sales was here. Even though I started my business when I was 22, and I think I saw some electricians or tradespeople here. At 22, I started my electrical contracting business. And if any of you are blue collar, type in maybe blue collar proud. And if you're white collar, say what's up or something in there, because you should be proud too. And when you're running a little company, like sales is important, but man, when you're running a big company, it's mandatory, right? You have to do it. And I was telling someone the other day, like when you have a, 50,000 in payroll, like that's a pretty scary thing. When you have over $1 million in payroll, like it's a big deal, right? You can't just say, oh, I have no money, because I had 200 employees, and here's a little picture for you guys. Now, I sold this company in 2017, but we did 32 million a year, not 32 million like 2 million plus 5 million plus 8 million, not that game that people play today. One time somebody told me, yeah, I did $20 million. And I was like, oh, really? Like, wow, that's impressive. How'd you do that? Well, one year I did 5 million and one year 3 million. No, this year was a $32 million company and was tracking for 40 million. And I sold it in 2017, not because I didn't love it, because I sold myself into a bigger future. But when you have a couple hundred employees and you have 165 trucks, okay, that's how many vehicles we owned, 165. Is anybody from New Jersey? Because I didn't get to keep up. Type in New Jersey. These trucks are all over the state of New Jersey. So sales was really important. But I want to give you something to write down, because if you're expecting me to be one of those full of hot air and give you the best objection handling strategy, I'm just going to tell you that's not what I'm going to give you tonight, because that's baby food. And if I curse a little bit, is anybody going to be offended, or can you give me permission to curse? If you don't like curse words, just pray for me later tonight. I promise you, I'm perfectly fine with myself. But I'm not going to give you baby food shit here. I'm just not going to give it like, oh, well, when a customer says that, or hand them the pen. And I think a lot of the world today is giving baby food sales strategies, when really what you need is not a new tactic. You need a new way of thinking. And when I look at what takes a company from under $1 million to 32 million, which I think was, it was pretty impressive back then. I don't think it's impressive today at all, because back then you had to do like yellow pages and stuff, and you only had to be brave enough. Did anybody ever do yellow pages? Type in yellow page. Like, the bravest person to spend the money made the money. That's the deal, right? When you do $1 million in yellow page advertisement, well, it's easier to win. But today, it's really easy to win when you figure it out, because while you're listening to me, you could just put a message out and someone buys it on Facebook. You could do pretty much like unlimited messages on Facebook and people see you. But I really mastered sales then, but I really understood sales and human behavior at this moment in my life. In this moment, I built an organization. If anybody knows the organization, give me a boom in the chat bar. In 2014, I was so pissed off at the industry, because I was tired of all what I call like full of hot air blowhards, right? All these coaches out there in their suit and ties telling everybody what they did 50 years ago in their company and how they ran their warehouse and all this crap, right? And I said to myself, like, well, why the hell's the industry suffering if you've been doing it for 50 years? And in 2014, for those of you new to my world, I stepped in and I said, I'm going to create a movement. I'm not just going to teach. I'm going to change the way the blue collar industry functions, thinks, works, shows up. And if any of you have been in my world a while and you think I've done that, can you give me a done that in the chat bar for me? I know I did it, because in a 5-year period, I trained over 20,000 people came through my trainings. I did 35 3-day trainings a year. I bet some of you on here been through it. And I still believe yet to today, nobody's been able to put on a transformational training like us, because we don't work in motivation. We work in permanent transformation. But when you have 20,000 people come through your training and you train 1,000 business owners, you start to notice that there's patterns and habits and behaviors and cycles that allows some people to win and it allows other people to lose. And I sold this company in 2020, not because I didn't love it. I did the job I needed to do, and COVID came in, and humanity needed me now to change the world because I made a lot of people really wealthy. And if you guys know anybody that I've made a deca millionaire, or at least played a part, I didn't do it for them. I just guided them. If you know anybody that I guided to become legacy wealthy, just type in legacy, because I've done that over and over. Matter of fact, in less than 4 years, over 100 people have exited their company and become 90% of them become deca millionaires, and now they live what we call life, business, wealth by design. I'm not saying that to brag to you. I'm saying it to make a point, because if I don't make a point, well, why are you even going to listen to what I have to say about sales? After I went through and sold the second company, and in 2020, we started Food Dog Group, which is life, business, and wealth by design, because we learned that if you focus, has anybody, and you don't have to say it in the chat bar, did anybody ever focus so much on business one day you woke up and you're like, your wife doesn't like you no more and your kids don't know you? You don't have to admit it in the chat bar. I see the expressions, right? And that doesn't work really well, at least not long term. And my wife and I and my business partner, Aaron, who's on here, we have a whole team on here with us tonight. My son is one of our top coaches, the leader of coaching multiple deca millionaires, and Morgan and Megan team. Say hello in the chat bar. And when you look at this, things that were happening with everybody, I went back after I sold that and said, well, if we could improve everybody's life and change their thinking, and we could improve the way they learn about sales, operations, systems, marketing, operational excellence, and then they could understand wealth, we can create what we call the pinnacles. We could create this pinnacles, and everything will change. Your age will start to reverse. Your relationship, you don't go 40 years. My wife and I are 40 years together. You don't do that because you didn't figure some shit out. You do it because you learned how to grow in different areas. Hey, Keaton, welcome. Anybody else who just joined, welcome. So who's this training really a fit for? Well, first off, it's a fit for any business owner, but even if you're not a business owner, you're going to pick up something. If you want more wealth, and you want to live happier, and I want you to write a word down, and you want eventually financial peace. Can you write that down? You don't want financial freedom, right? A lot of people think they have financial freedom and it's just a different looking jail cell. You want financial peace, right? Which is abundance with harmony, So if you are a business owner, this is really going to help you, what I'm going to cover with you. And if you're a founder and tired of this duct tape sales tactics and this, you should be able to go to sleep without worrying about you're going to show up on Channel 7 News. And I'm proud to say, I mean, look, I would tell you the type of service company I ran. I mean, we sold a $6,000 toilet bowl, and I would call us up the top of the food chain of what we did. Because look, if you're going to have 165 trucks on the road and probably, I don't know, 100 of them are damn near Mercedes-Benz Sprinters and stuff, well, you have to charge the right price. I'm also not that guy that's going to tell you, you need to make more money, just raise your price, because that's a good way to get your ass on Channel 7 News, right? Having an inflated price without justification of it. Or teaching people, having a culture of sell and you must sell and upsell and blah, blah, blah. And what I want to tell you is, at least share with you, there's a way to create abundance through sales without feeling dirty. And tell me, have any of you, not you, but have you ever noticed anybody else out there, industries, and it just feels dirty. Type in dirty in the chat bar. And that's what was making me come and say, you know what, let's do something on Sales Rewired here. This will also help you with your sales teams, because in your teams and your culture, to be upfront with you, what I learned going through 1,000 business owners is, first off, business owners just don't understand the psychology of selling because they don't even understand themselves. You know, they don't even understand themselves. And if you don't understand yourself, well, how the hell are you even going to understand others? And answer this for me. Do you think the way that people buy has changed? Tell me in the chat bar, type in changed. Do you think it's changed in the last 30 days? Hell yeah, it has. It's been changing like this for a half a decade. Now, pre-COVID, you know, everybody was pretty brilliant, weren't they? I mean, you could pretty much suck at what you do and make a lot of money pre-COVID. During COVID, if you were really good, you still made abundance. I had the privilege and the honor of navigating close to 1,000 businesses through COVID. I don't know, was anybody in my world during COVID? Type in COVID. And where the industry was down, at least my industry was down by 20, 30%, the average person in my world was up by 200, 300, 400, 500%. Well, why? Because we understood humans. And if you want to write something down that I don't see a lot of people talk about, is that sales is a human process. It's a human process. Also, if you're a leader that's on here, this training's definitely going to help you. This is who it's not going to be for. If you're somebody who's just about close the customer, I need to get them to buy, and you're into hardcore closing and whatever you do, you lead with a sledgehammer and you love doing that, I would just say, I appreciate you. You should get off this training now, because I'm not going to teach you that stuff. It's not our game. We believe in a high level of integrity. The other thing is, this is not industry specific. I used to be a best practice person. A best practice person is someone who specializes in just one industry. And that's good. There's a lot of them out there. I like to think of them as one-trick ponies. They understand how to sell plumbing services, which I've done over 10 million a year in plumbing, or HVAC, and I sold over 19 million in Lennox equipment, or, you know, maybe the pest control or basement waterproofing. And, you know, I was considered one of the top, and I would put myself probably up there still. But now what I've learned is we work with over 120 different industries, from people that sell nutrition products to insurance products. It doesn't matter if they're selling cybersecurity or they're AI, selling AI tools, or marketing or coaching or anything. And we found out that when you understand the psychology of the sales process, it applies equally. It applies equally across many different industries. Now, if you're looking for some robotic script of some kind, which I respect AI, and if you've been playing with AI, type in AI in the chat bar. I know so many people, they're just drooling before they go to bed. They're licking ChatGPT on their cell phone. But the other thing is, just to put an awakening you might want to write down, is the most valuable thing is people are still craving. They're craving human to human connection. And if you're like me and you watch cycles and trends and patterns and behaviors and habits, you know that when the cell phone came out, we got less close connection and further connection, because I could just call you. And how many of you, give me a hand up if you have children. Who has children? Okay. So those of you with children, how many of you text your kid and they're right in the other damn room? Raise your hand. Just me? Okay. A couple of you honest people. Thank you, right? Some of you are old school. Any Italians here? Type in Italian in the chat bar. Yeah. You don't even, right, Sam? You don't do the texting shit. Old school Italian. Hey, come over here, right? We just yell, get the hell over here. Don't make me do that cell phone shit to talk to you. You come in here, look at me in the eye, right? So some of you can relate to that, and some of you are like, what do you mean? Why would you get off your ass? Just text them on the cell phone. But the one point I want to make about sales today is the deeper, the quicker the connection you can make with people, real connection. Someone said to me just yesterday, because we work with a lot of high level people today and some smaller companies too to help them scale. They said, how do I do better if you were to give me one thing? And I said, well, just connect and connect in a stronger way with people. Stop looking at them as part of your payroll and start looking at them as people you care about and that you want to serve with whatever you serve with. So, look, I want to share, and I got a bunch of strategies I'm going to go through. And I'd love for you as I share, hey, Rodney, nice to see you. As I share a strategy, Andrew, and it resonates with you, type in the chat bar so I know it's resonating. But after doing now, and this is combined, over 500 million in revenue myself, selling over 2 high 8-figure companies with world-class exits in the last 6 years, training over 20,000 people and 1,000 business owners, and serving 34,000 customers a year, I want to give you what at least I feel is the top things, some of the top things. And I want to start that out with you with a little bit of let's kind of survey ourselves and do a little self-ranking here. And there's no right or wrong. And look, I don't care if you're doing $1 billion now or $1. If you came here to be impressed about yourself, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with myself. And if you came here because you got your ass kicked last week in sales, well, that's okay. You're welcome here too. We're all going to be here and learn together. So I want you to rate this from 1 to 5. 5 being the very, very best. Okay, 5 being the best and 1 being the worst. And now I don't want you to go gut check. I want you to just spend a second and think before you put the answer in the chat bar. Now, before I give you the first question, I'm going to share with you something I tripped across, because I'm a guy that has helped a lot of people through trauma and resistance, because how do you create more wealth and abundance? Well, you have to remove the resistance that you've been trained with, and you have to get rid of these things like, the economy's bad and the stock market. And how many of you type in 2008 if you lived through 2008 or you were a business owner in 2008? Yeah, so in 2008, that created for people what I would call a little bit of sales trauma. You were maybe feeling really, really good, and all of a sudden, within a short period of time, you might have been feeling really, really shitty. And if you could relate, type in relate, because it was like the octagon. Do you know UFC? Anybody watch UFC? Give me a hand up. Any UFC people? Yeah. So 2008 felt like the UFC, except you didn't get to train for it. So the fact that you wrestled, do I have any martial artists on here? Type in martial artist on here. I'm a martial artist of it's going to be over 40 years now. But, the fact that you wrestled when you were 10 years old, well, in 2008, when you went in the octagon, you weren't prepared for it. So you had to survive. And what that built was, for a lot of people, was trauma. No different than a relationship. You get divorced and all of a sudden you have divorce trauma. Someone told me, yeah, well, I was divorced and it was miserable and that's why I'm not successful. And I said, oh my goodness, it sounded like it was yesterday. I said, wow, that sounds horrible. When was it? He goes, 30 years ago. I said, holy shit, 30 years ago? You're still suffering 30 years later? Are you still paying her? He's like, no, I haven't paid her for 15 years. but it doesn't matter because it's still inside that person's mind as trauma. Let me give you one more before I ask you the questions. And you could say to yourself, do you have anything inside your mind that's keeping you back from the very next level? How many of you, when you were a kid, you had a lemonade stand? Type in lemonade stand. Did you try to sell something, or maybe Boy Scout cookies or Girl Scout cookies, right? Hey, Logan, nice to see you. Karen. And you had the lemonade stand and you spent time and you made the poster with your mom and you went and got, what the hell was back then? Does anybody even drink Crystal Light or anything back then? Right? You took packets of Crystal Light in a big container, and maybe people came, they drove by, and you yelled what? Lemonade, lemonade. And the car went zoom. And thank God for those couple neighbors that came over and gave you $5 for lemonade. Because if you didn't make $1, not only did you have sales trauma, you probably took on the first identity of depression or something, because you were like, I'm a failure. I asked for something and they said no. And now you grow up not asking. So the first thing, 1 to 5, 5 being, yeah, I'm very, very good, and 1 being, no, I'm not good. How would you rate yourself on sales trauma? Would you say 5, I have a lot of sales trauma, or 1, I have no sales trauma, Mike? All right, so we got a 4. Thanks for your honesty, everybody. And what about this? If you look at 5, and all of this applies to sales, if this is broken, I'll give you one of my pet peeves. Someone says to me, yeah, I got a sales trainer coming out to my company. And I go, oh, that's great. Sales trainers are great. When do they come? And they say, oh, they're going to show up Tuesday. And I said, well, what questions did they ask you? And they said, well, they asked me about, my conversion, and they asked me about my average, and they asked me about, what kind of service do you deliver? And I said, anything else? They said no. And I said, hang on a minute. Did they ask you about your marketing? They said, no. Why would they ask me about my marketing? I said, because your marketing is the first step into the sales process. Now, when we say marketing, let me be clear. I know a lot of people think Facebook ads and pay-per-click and magazine and billboard and TV. And I did all of it. I've done radio, I've done TV. I had over 1,000 billboards in the state of New Jersey. No exaggeration, 1,000 of them. And I did 2.4 million a year. Matter of fact, I thought I could outmarket the Obama election. Never try to do that shit, everybody, because you ain't going to outmarket no election, no matter how much money you throw at it. And then what happened, what I noticed was they had people coming to teach something to fix something that really wasn't the problem. I mean, if you fish with guppy bait and you catch guppies, you're probably not going to catch whales with guppy bait. You're going to catch little guppy fish. So if your customer is a Walmart customer you're attracting, and I'm not against Walmart, I bought stuff there, but if you're attracting someone who buys at the flea market and you're trying to sell them the very best mattress or service, you could see how this is not a fit. Does this make sense? Type in "makes sense" in the chat bar. So my next survey question for you is this. Do you, level 5, you have such a sharp marketing cycle. It's clear on exactly the sales process, from the emotional to the subconscious state to the conscious state to every part of it. And one being, Mike, I hate pay-per-click and I'm pissed off at my agency. How do you rate yourself? How do you rate yourself? 5? I'm so clear on the marketing. It starts the sales process. And if you're a 5, you got money falling from the sky. And if you're a 1, I know why the hell you're here, because you go to bed at night and you're pissed the hell off because you're saying, I hope any of you knew you probably got a flare for me. And if you're still on, you'll probably stay on till we're done. And if you don't love my intensity, well, I don't get neutered along the way. So you probably should bounce now. But if you look at this, how many of you are so pissed off at spending money on marketing and not getting the damn results you need? Tell me in the chat bar, and tell me any way you want to check. You don't have to sugarcoat shit in my world, because I show up as my true skin. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't show up with a suit on and try to make you think I'm something I'm not. Which, by the way, if you have tattoos, can you type in tattoo in the chat bar? I always love to survey, because I think, oh, there you go, Ryan. Ryan's got a few. And if you don't have tattoos, just type in not yet, because you still have some time. No. Don't let me get tattooed and then your mom's sending me some pissed off message. All right, let's go to the next one. So this one, number 5, you have a very clear sales offer structure, okay? You understand where the process starts. You know the before, the during, the after. You know the beginning, the middle, the end. You know how people feel and think before, when you pick up the phone or they send you a text and a chat. At a level 5, you can predict exactly what they're going to do. And Mike, I hope for the best. I hope they're nice. I hope they respond good. I hope they answer good. Where are you? All right. Are you guys seeing that you might type in $signs if you're seeing you might be losing a lot of money? And if you figure this out, or I should say, when you figure this out, this is exactly how you go from, now some of you are like this. Someone told me one time, they said this to me. They said, Mike, money, they said it just like that, but this is my fun voice. Mike, money's not everything. That's what they told me. And I looked straight at him, and you know what I said? You know what I said to him? I said this to him, Lisa. I said, perfectly well said from a broke ass individual. Now, money may not be everything, but I'm going to tell you what, when your kids need new teeth, or they need, braces, or they hurt something and insurance don't cover it, or your mom needs help with something, and your roof is bad and you need a new furnace, or you just want a little more comfort and go on vacation, I only know how to do that one way, with money or debt, right? I mean, do you guys have any other way? It's either a credit card that you can pay off, or a credit card that you may never pay off. And I don't like to see people suffer. I know I'm on this planet to create impact. And again, I'm going to share information, not to brag to you, but if you just knew the land of possibility, and if you look at me by the end of this and you go, if fucking Mike can do it, why can't I? And you're absolutely right. My wife and I have been debt-free since we're 28 years old. We haven't had a mortgage since we're 28, and I'm going to be level 55 on May 29th, which you should keep an eye on that, not to send me a gift, because I'm going to send you gifts when it gets around my birthday. I'm building some amazing free birthday gifts. Are you okay if I give you a birthday gift? Type in birthday in the chat bar. We're going to give you all kinds of resources and tools and stuff, because I believe every year it's my birthday, give back to you. I don't need anything from you. I'm just thankful that you're on here to learn. So let's do one more poll, and then I'm going to dig into some tactical strategies. Let's look at our team, if you have a team, and let's put a team, a high-functioning team that understands high-level integrity sales, understands the process of over-delivering. 5, if they're a level 5, they have an ownership. You know what ownership means on the team? They're asking you, did we make all the money the company needs so everybody can be paid and we have a big, handsome profit? And 1 being, what time is it? I did the best I can and I have to leave and go home. How do you rate your culture? 5, hey, boss, did we get it all done? Because I'm not going home till we're done. And 1, hey, boss, I got to leave. It's 4 o'clock. Where are you at? Oh, so we got some pretty good numbers here. And I'll tell you, if you're at a 4 and above, I'm glad you're here, because you're already making a lot of money, so you can invest it. If you're below a 4, well, I got news for you. We better talk about strategies right now, and we better get some shit done here. Okay, let's get some stuff done. Now, before I give you strategy number one here, I would love for you to just type in, look at your notes real quick, and write down something that resonated for you. Was it financial peace? Was it, oh my goodness, my marketing person is getting me leads or not, but they're not asking me what part of the sales process does this start? And your marketing person should be like, hey, what's the whole sales process look like? Because otherwise, whatever they do gives you garbage. You can't do nothing with it because it doesn't fit the next puzzle. The same thing with the sales. And I know people that follow me, you probably have maybe a coach or a trainer or a mentor or a consultant. Well, if they're not examining and they don't go like this, hey, here is your complete sales cycle in detail on exactly what should be happening, could be happening, will be happening. And this step to this step, this is what it creates emotionally. This is the results it creates. Then you better call them and say, get your ass in gear because you're letting me down, or you better find a place to learn it. Because there's three important things. And these are the same three things I've been telling my kids since they're born. And I'm going to give you the three, because if you nail these three, you create abundance in every area. Number one, leadership. Write it down, everybody. Leadership. Okay. Well, you're the leader. So if you're not happy with the results, I don't know why you're mad at your people or mad at your agency. You got to be a little pissed off at yourself, but not pissed off for long. Only stay pissed off until you say, I got to make a new decision. And then don't be pissed off no more. Okay. Number two, marketing. Now, my one friend says marketing is everything and everything is marketing. Did anybody do marketing power training with us? Type in marketing power. If you did, I will tell you it was the highest level marketing training on the planet. And I put myself, because I've spent time on stage with the top marketers and been on with guys like Jay Abraham, highest paid consultant on earth, and all the top marketers I've been on with. And if you didn't do that, then guess what? Marketing's number two. You better not learn it, master it. Because if you're illiterate to it, you're a slave. Now, I'm not telling you to go to get a bachelor's in marketing. I'm telling you, get it from someone who's an expert, learn it so you're not a slave to it. So you're not like, get it. How many of you are getting sold? Well, you got so many clicks. Write the word click in. And I don't know, is there a middle finger emoji or something? Like put clicks and put the middle finger in the chat bar. Isn't that how you feel? Because I'm telling years ago, a decade and a half ago, they're saying, well, I got you clicks and people, they said they like you. And I'm like, yeah, but Jason, right? I'm like, but my bank account says I'm paying money out, but I'm not getting money in. And I told one guy one time, I said, F you and your clicks, because I need money, not clicks. So we have leadership and marketing. The third one, sales. You have to understand the art of communication. High level, high integrity, high value communication. If you're trying to convince people to buy, you're not an expert at communication. You're just a puppet using trickery. And I don't believe trickery. I don't know anybody with trickery that's built big companies. And I'm not telling you to build a big company. The fact is, how many of you are the best in the world at what you do? Go ahead, brag. Type in best in the chat bar. It's okay. Let the ego out a little bit. It's healthy to let it out, right? Go ahead. All right. Thank you, Anthony Foster. Yes, you are. There you go. I got some of the fucking best. I love it, Andrew. So here's a byproduct of being the very best. Someone told me, they said, Mike, I've been struggling to break $1 million a year for 5 years. And I said, well, here's the moment, everybody. This is what I said to him, Quincy. This is the moment you either love me or you hate me. Are you ready for it? He said, yeah. I said, you suck at what you do. And he went, you don't even know me. I said, I don't know you enough yet, but entertain my conversation for a minute. And in the end, if you don't like it, curse me out and I'll walk away. You probably don't want a fist fight, right? I mean, it's 40 years in martial arts. I've learned a few things, training with knives and training with SEAL Team 6 type military. Do you have any military type and military guys? I've trained with some of the top operators in the world, so we're not going to duke it out. Just tell me F off and I'll go away. Here's the deal. If you're the best in the world and you deliver the best service with the best product at the best time, a byproduct is you get more referrals and more business, and you're going to grow year after year after year. Does anybody want to disagree with me? I'm all about disagreeing tonight, but tell me, if you're the best in the world, people brag about you, and the more they brag, the more other people find you, the more other people find you, the more they buy from you. And when it comes from a referral, tell me in the chat bar, is it a quicker buyer or a slower buyer? When it's a referral, they go like this: I need this done. You go, this is what you need done. Here's the cost. You sign the check. You give a credit card, right? So this is what I want to talk about. So you wrote it down, right? You need leadership. You need marketing, sales. You master these three things with a high level of integrity, and you're going to change the game. So we're going to focus on the sales thing today. Now, when I'm done with the sales thing, and I'll just share it now in case some of you got to go early. Next week, and look, guys, I hope you figure after 500 million, I'm going to make an invitation to you. If it makes sense, you raise your hand. And if it doesn't, I'm not here to convince you of anything. At this stage in our life, my wife and I and my partner, we don't have to convince people to do nothing. But next week, and some of you are already scheduled to come, we're doing 3 days in person called Sales Power. It's only 30 people. That's it. It's in a private home. So when I'm done, if you're not a master at selling, and if you come out and by the end of day one, you think your life hasn't changed in understanding the psychology of selling, the human behavior, and so Jason, you're coming out. If you don't understand the inside and outside and map out your whole sales cycle from the marketing to the time that they engage, either text, cell phone, SMS, all these things, all the way to the end to where it creates a referral machine that people are pretty much throwing cash at you. If you're not excited by day one, you just let me know. I'll give you the investment back. It is by application. So if you are interested by the time we're done and you want to see about coming to New Jersey, the house is 1 block over from where I live. So it's right over here. And we'll spend 3 days together and we'll change the game. We have, I think, 5 spots left. If people come, it's fine. If not, it's fine too. The people that do come, we will make sure that money is never an issue. Okay. Money will never be an issue again because you'll understand that bracket. So team, just write team at Food Dog Group. And if any of you are interested. The other day, I got 3 calls from 3 different people on Monday, which made me wonder why they didn't call me on the weekend. 3 different people, because I get Facebook messages, after doing this 2 decades and writing, what did I write? 28 books now, and God knows how many podcasts and YouTube. Any of you, are you seeing my little Instagram videos? Type in videos if you've been seeing a lot of my videos, because I'm really, really working hard to serve people. And on Monday, 3 people called, and all 3 of them had the same type of problems, Anthony. They said, I don't have enough leads, I'm not making enough sales, and I don't have enough money. And I just say, listen, first off, you can't, write this down, you can't build new skill sets on top of your old thinking. You can't. Every one of you that's on here, I guarantee you've attended a million trainings. If you have not made the improvement you want, you're trying to stack wisdom on top of trauma. Trauma's like quicksand. It falls in, boop, disappears. You don't move forward. So all these people, I said, well, first off, you clearly, if you understood the art of sales, you can produce as much cash as you want at will. And if you can't produce, if you don't know sales, you're going to always have a cycle of an issue, because when a tariff comes out and people close their wallet, you say people aren't spending money. I say, no, you suck at understanding people. Another one of those hashtag moments, either hashtag love me. Would you guys like, can you put hashtag real? Would you rather me be real with you? Or do you want me to like, I'll just watch everything I say so you could sing Kumbaya with me? I refuse to do that. I'm going to give you my real self so that you could have breakthroughs and go, maybe tonight, maybe Mike's making sense. And then I say, look, just do this. Show up to the sales training. Because if you don't know how to sell, how are you ever going to fix it? And I get the same stuff all the time. Well, I can't, Mike, because I'm going on a trip. I go, okay, but when you come back, will you have more money or less money? Oh no, this vacation's been booked. I hear it all the time. I'm like, okay. So you'll come back, and when you come back, you'll tell me you have more problems. And now what do you want me to do? How do I solve your more problems? You need, my wife and I probably, I don't know, many years ago, I shared with her like, and her dad and my dad were very hardworking men. So she shared with me that my model of being a man was the only thing she really knew, because her dad and my dad, who had a very hardworking dad, type in hardworking dad, and her dad's still around. My dad passed a couple years ago now. And I said, look, when we focus and we learn, and we've been growing together, learning shit. We were just we ran 2 relationship trainings in the last month. Anybody come to the relationship training, type in the chat bar how it was. And me and my wife did a relationship training with somebody. And I said, if we work really hard and learn a lot, there will be a day that life will be by design. We won't have to worry about money. Me and my wife, normally every day, our biggest thing to figure out is what the hell damn day it is, because we never know if it's Saturday or Tuesday, because we don't go, thank God it's Friday, because we suffered all week. And we don't go, it's Sunday, we don't do anything. We serve every single day of the week. Let's get into a strategy here. Number 1 strategy is this, and I want you to write it as an action item if it's with me or someone else. You got to remove the hidden sales trauma. It doesn't disappear. It lives within your nervous system. If your parents ever told you this, and you tell me in the chat bar, if your parents ever told you, William, money is evil, money is dirty, money doesn't grow on trees, go wash your hands after you counted your money. Tooth Fairy gave you money, go wash. Birthday money, go wash your hands, money's dirty. Have any of you ever been told any of that? Tell me in the chat bar. If you have hidden sales trauma. How many of you have spent a lot of money on marketing, you did not get a return, and you are scared shit about spending money on marketing? Tell me in the chat bar. Type in marketing, right? You got marketing trauma. How many of you have invested in things? You went to a big training, 1,000 people, you clapped your ass off, you went back Monday, nothing fixed itself. You were motivated for 3 days and you had no more strategies, no more skills. Those of you coming, and if you can't make it to Sales Power, we got some other stuff coming up. We'll share it with you. Do any of you live, any of you who signed up for SOP Power? SOP, hands up. I got some. Who doesn't know what SOP Power is? Put a question mark if you don't know what it is. Okay, some of you don't know. Is it okay if I share it real quick? Because part of SOP Power will solve your trauma, and it's virtual. Put the date in, team. Coming up in a couple weeks, we're doing a virtual training. It's called SOP Power. It starts at 9:30 in the morning Eastern. It ends at 6. I'm going to give you everything we know about creating sustainable processes and systems. As a matter of fact, we're going to give you a bunch of the processes and systems we use today. Now, I made that training special for 2 things. Special number 1, bring someone from your team on it. Bring up to 3 people and get them on damn near Zoom and tell your team you're going to spend all day on this training. And when we leave, we're going to optimize this business to run like a machine. Because what I learned, everybody, is when I ran Gold Medal, I had it run for 5 years. I had no office in the building. And it ran for 5 years without me being a slave. And how many of you would love that? Give me a boom in the chat bar. Would you love to go away and not worry about your business? Matter of fact, would you love to go away and when you come back, you made so much more money that the team says, leave, Jim, don't even come back. Just call at the end of the day. We'll tell you how much money we made. Now, I wanted to make this training such a ridiculous price that if you said no to it, if you're suffering, I guess you enjoy NyQuil spoonful of suffering. The training was going for $699. And here's the deal. I made it for $499. Now, I hope you guys think that shit, after doing 500 million at this stage of my life, I would like to think you think my time's worth more than $499. But I am tired of people suffering and I'm willing to do it. So if you're interested in doing SOP power, if you want sales power next week, I'll give you a package. I'll finance the shit for you. I don't want money to be the problem. Time, if you're a slave to go into things, I can't stop that. But if you're willing to come, I'll finance it myself to make sure that you don't suffer. If you want SOP power, just either type in SOP. It's 499 bucks. And guess what? I'll give you the damn recording. So if you can't show up all day because you got to go to a job, you'll get the recording for it. So if you want that, you'll let my team know. But that's not even what I wanted to talk to you about. Anybody live near Nashville? Anybody live near Nashville? Type in Nashville. If not, I guess F Nashville. If no one lives there, it won't. Okay, you're not close there. We have a free one day in Nashville. It's not important enough because nobody on here. So let's get back into it. The first strategy, okay? You got to remove the hidden sales trauma, whatever, marketing trauma, sales trauma. You hired somebody and now you're afraid to hire. You spend some money and now you're afraid. Oh, Tim DeHart, we'll let you know because we're going to be in Nashville full day, free, paid lunch in a cool building. 35 people. It'll be a blast in May. So if you want info on that, I'm going to give you a link. You guys will reach out, talk to my team. They'll help you. Those of you that want SOP will help you out with that tonight. And look at SOP. If you think it sucks at the end, reach out to me. I'll give you the fucking $499 back. The last thing I want is anybody to be frustrated with me after 2 decades of creating multi-millionaires. All right, I got to give you number 2 here, okay? Number 2, you have to nail your sales cycle, everybody. You have to make it mandatory. If you don't know the sales cycle, now there's 2 sales cycles. There's your sales cycle, and then there's the client's. Sorry, I took my tablet. I can't draw for you tonight on there, but I'll draw on this pad because I was setting up my tablet for stuff tomorrow. But if you look at sales cycles, and let's see if you could see this. Okay, if you look at sales cycles, it's like that. It's 2 overlapping circles. It's your company sales cycle, and it's the client's sales cycle. It's the client's sales cycle. And you have to understand the psychology on how they interlink. And if you don't have that, I promise you're losing 25% a year. Easily, you're losing 25%. And that might be happening on however they reach out to you. It could be the first connection. It could be the after you speak to them about your insurance service or your plumbing or whatever. It doesn't matter to me, dog training service. Or it happens after the transaction. You're losing. And some of you, I bet you might even be losing more. If you were to say, just on what you're hearing from me now, what percentage of money do you know you're leaving on the table? Type it in the chat bar. Is it 20%, 30%? First off, if you've never had a pro look at it, a real expert look at every part of it, I guarantee it's 25% plus. I guarantee it. Because you only know the skills you have. So if it's not me or us at Food Dog, well, shit, invest in someone who's a pro at it. If you come to Sales Power next week, spend 3 days with me in person, shit, even if you invested and made it to day 1, your life's going to change. But if you make it to all 3 days, your whole company and your abundance will change forever. Okay. So number 2, You have to understand the sales cycle. All right. Number 3, everybody is surprised because they say to me, it's not working. And I always ask the same question. There's 2 parts to sales not working. And if you just write these 2 things down, I guarantee it's worth a lot of money to you. One, I say, well, what is the A/B testing you're doing? You mean you answer the phones the same way and you never test another way to see if it makes it better or worse? As owners and leaders, you should be a master at A/B testing. That means if you call your marketing pay-per-click company or whatever, billboard company, magazine, you should say to them, what are you A/B testing? And then they go, what you mean? You should just go, the old Trump, you're fired. You should just fire them, right? So with sales, you got to be A/B testing. Here's the offer this week. This is the offer next week. Which one's working? Your marketing, if you're doing direct mail, you should be A/B testing. We do everything on a scientific approach. Now, remember, we also have a portfolio of companies. So not only do we do to help you, but we have our own target of companies we help scale to exit, because most people just, without the right support and knowledge, the chances of them exiting wealthy is pretty slim. So we help a lot of companies. The first thing we do is, what can we test? Number 2 in the selling part is surveying. And if you haven't mastered the art of surveying before, during, and after, you're losing. Now we're probably up to 35%. Okay. So you have to A/B testing in sales, and you have to survey, because the customer will tell you exactly what to fix. So let me pause there a minute, because I know we're pushing up on 60 minutes, but would it be okay if I just went a little bit longer? Can you guys type in longer if is it okay for you guys? I mean, my wife and I are trying to finish up Longmire series, which I really have enjoyed. We're on the final season of Longmire, but if you're willing to stay a little longer, I'm willing to stay with you guys. So we're going to A/B test, okay, and we're going to survey. Look at your notes real quick and give me an action item you already need to put in place. Give me an action item. Is it you're going to examine the 2 sales cycle, your cycle and the customer sales cycle? Are you going to A/B test? Are you going to survey? What are you going to do here? Are you going to look at your culture? Are you going to fix your damn sales trauma? Those of you coming to sales power, I'm not going to give you just skills. As long as you're willing, I'm going to show you how to go in your mind, rewire it, and come out with a superpower mind, unlike you felt in probably your entire life. You're going to put a program in there that knows nothing else but abundance, scaling, and winning. And any of you that come to it, whatever that shit you got, all this, and I'm not saying it's not real, and don't give me the middle finger, but all this ADHD and anxiety and all these things you've created inside your mind, if you're good, we'll remove that shit over here when we do sales power next week. If you're okay with that, we'll do it. We'll just pull it out of your system. We'll put a brand new program in, the same stuff I had to do for myself. Okay. Jason Birdsong knows, right? Jason, what's the power of that? Okay, let's go to the next one here. Let me give you a couple more here. So the next one is most companies are losing about 20 to 40% because they don't understand pricing psychology. Now, I tested all that shit like 1,997 versus 2,000. And look, people have what's called wallet share. And I want you to write it down, wallet share. And if they open up their wallet, there's a certain amount of money in there. And inside the wallet share, they have an intentional amount for repairs or services or insurance or programs. And they want to make sure that when they take something out of their wallet share, it's either going to give them more comfort right? Or it's also going to remove pain. And if it's going to give them more comfort, they'll invest in it. Just like I already know, how many of you are already registered for SOP Power online? Just write SOP. You already know the reason why you're going to give the day is because it's going to give you way more comfort. And those of you not registered yet, I'm going to tell you how to register. So stay here and you'll get the special as long as you do it in the next couple days. And you only attending SOP Power because one, it doesn't matter that you read the E-Myth. Who cares about all your shit you read? Oh, Mike, I do EOS system and I do E-Myth and I've done Blue Ocean Strategy. And I go, yeah, but you're still under 5 million and you're telling me you're broke. I don't care about the books you read. That's the only people giving you badges for the shit you read is the people on Facebook. Is that fair? Can you just type in fair in the chat bar? I don't have an EOS badge for you. I don't have a Service Titan badge for you. You know what I got a badge of? A badge of giving you, you're making way more profit than ever. Your bank account's growing. Your portfolio's growing. And you're not driven by a million shiny objects distracting the shit out of you. That's the badge I want to give you. And the badge of you and your wife are closer, you and your kids are closer, your age is reversing, and you love your damn company until you no longer want to love it. And it either you hand it down to someone that will love it, like family, to create a legacy business, or you sell it because you want someone else to run it different. That's the badge I love to give to people. And the way that you get that is you have to understand there is a psychology of pricing and there is a wallet share. And if you don't understand that they're investing in comfort or removing a pain, and the only thing that stands in that wallet share is your process, right? Is your process. And do they believe in you and your process? I mean, I guarantee, watch this survey, watch how real this becomes. How many of you have had customers buy what you sell and they paid you more than someone else that offered them the same thing? Tell me in the chat bar. I know you guys did, of course, right? It happened to me all the time. And then my friends would call me up. You got that job over there? What the? They always say it like I was less. I mean, 165 trucks on the road, 32 million a year. Did you really think my price is lower? I'm like, it was 15,000. Why? What did you? He goes, I was 10,000. Why didn't they go with me? I said, because they didn't trust you. They didn't trust you. They didn't trust how you showed up. They didn't trust the professionalism. They didn't trust the cycle. Your sales cycle was to sell. My sales cycle was to change their life forever. And that's a big difference. Do you see the difference? Type in difference in the chat bar. My cycle was to improve their life forever. That was the most important task. A byproduct of changing lives is people give you money. That's why you're here. If you're here and you feel we have value and will change your life, you'll invest in the trainings we have. And if you're not in enough pain or you don't think we have value, you won't invest. But no matter what, I want you to leave tonight with value. That's the most important thing. Because if I give you value and you just think a little bit different or you take action on one thing, then we're changing the human race. And that's why I'm here tonight with you at 8 p.m. at night. Not because I have to, because I want to, because someone's got to care about you guys. There's lots of people that care only about your wallet. Is that true? Type in true if that's true. There's a lot of people that only care about your wallet. They tell you all these stories and these things, the 500-pound gorilla and PE firms. Look, PE firms, if you don't know, private equity firms are not bad. They're not. They made me very, very wealthy. They're bad for because they do some things people don't understand. Okay, and you should write that down. People don't understand it. All right, I'm going to give you two more here. All right, the silent killers in your sales team, right? It's the invisible behaviors that are killing your closing rate. What are the invisible behaviors? Well, I want you to think, and let's be an honest rating here. Just step aside outside your company and look from the sky down. And I want you to look at your team, your whole team. And I want you to rate your team at a level 10 master communicators. When they talk, people feel impacted. They feel changed. They feel shifted. They get such a sense of trust. They just go, here's the credit card. Call me when you're done. And one being, well, they talk the way they always talk the last 40 years of their life or 30 years. Let's do 10, master communicator, 1, and be honest. Where are you? Yeah. And guess what? A 7 is a C. And if you came home with a C, some of you, and I'm not a big believer on that type of grading system in school, but a C probably got you yelled at by your dad or mom. They said, what the hell's wrong with you? You got a C? You're like, well, at least I didn't get a D. That normally got your ass, depending on what generation, you either got smacked in the face or shoved in your room, right? If you're below that, if you're a 4, well, guess what? You're losing so much. Not only forget about the money, you're losing part of your life, which is financial peace. Now, remember, I don't want you to rate you because, well, first, I don't have enough time to call all your companies, even though I do enjoy it sometimes, because every time someone tells me they're amazing, I call and get their call center at night and I go, what the hell just happened here? And then they tell me, oh, well, that's a rare occasion. Lisa's not in this week. And I go, okay, I'm sure Lisa's incredible. And then I call Lisa and say, Lisa, you know what? Let me think about it. And Lisa goes, oh, well, call us when you're ready. And I go, well, now isn't that a shit ass process if I ever seen one? Like, how certain are you that you could save their life? Because if you were certain you're going to change their life forever, you wouldn't just say goodbye. And this happens all the time, multiple times a year. People tell me, no, they challenge me. Mike, call my company. So if any of you just really are compelled, I'm not going to do it here. Send me a private Facebook message and go, challenge accepted, Mike. Call my company. But just know, I'm not going to call at the perfect time when everybody ate their Danish and bagel and drank their Starbucks Mocha Loca. I'm going to call at the time where I know you're bleeding. And I hope that I am right. And if you are amazing, I'm sending you a gold star. I will. I'll find a little gold star sticker. But if it's not amazing, I'm going to let you know that too, because I care that much about you that I just don't want you, because your life, right? You want your life to move forward. How many of you want to forget about vacationing? You want to live a vacation style life. Just get up, go where you want, whenever you want. Type it in the chat bar. Type in vacation style life, right? Yeah, you probably do. You just want to experience as much as you can. Well, if you figure out the sales problem, you'll start experiencing things. All right, last one I want to give you here. And it's this one. A lot of people's managers, right? A lot of people's managers are not skilled and not leading. They're not leading. They're not training, coaching, or managing. They're information delivering. You didn't sell. You got, did you ever tell me if this is helpful? You must do better. Tell me in the chat bar, is that helpful? Did you ever tell somebody you got to raise your conversion? Well, if the dude knew how to do better, they would be doing better. You telling them to do better doesn't make them better, but you managers don't have the skill set. Why? Because you haven't trained your managers on human behavior. You've only trained them on some kind of widget or script that you learned from, I'm guessing, my own story, it's probably false. You learned it from some other company, right? And what made me break all boundaries was, you know what? I learned it from Jay Abraham. Do you know who Jay is? Type in Jay. If you don't, he's the highest paid consultant on planet Earth, okay? And I trained 3.5 years with him one-on-one, which most of you, if you heard how much that cost, there ain't probably a time in most of your lives you'd be brave enough to do that, because you pull out your credit card and it just, the shit just melts, okay? That's what happens when you pay for education. Your credit card melts. But he told me the secret of all secret sauces, and I'm going to give it to you tonight, and I hope it becomes your secret sauce, not only in selling, in scaling and winning this life, business, and wealth by design. He said to me, Mike, the superpower is not taking things you're getting from other industries. He goes, everybody's doing the same thing. He goes, so you might win a little bit, but the chances if you're doing the same thing as the next bigger company, you'll probably never outbeat them. He said the winning strategy is do from other industries in your industry. You should type in boom right now because this changed my life forever. He said, take the strategies from Disney and Zappos and Amazon. He said, go to the biggest companies in the world and ask yourself, what's the strategy they do that no one else is doing? So when people looked, you couldn't look. I was in an organization a decade and a half ago, and I outgrew every one of the founding fathers of the organization, and no one could figure out how the hell did these. Oh, I had a picture. I'll show you here. I showed it to Jason today. Jen, look at this picture. This is young. Now I'm going to show you. I don't even know what age I am here. My team at our Christmas party, our culture was so motivated. They gave us a gift and they said, we no longer want to drive the trucks we're driving. They said, we want to drive these. And they were yelling and chanting at the Christmas party. I don't know, maybe we had 80 employees or 100 then, I can't remember. I look way different, a little bit younger. But if you look at this here, there I am there, right? Holding, they wrapped tractor trailers for us. This is my partner, Rob. This is Adam. I ended up buying Adam out many, many years ago. And they wrapped these and they said, these are the trucks we want to drive through New Jersey. So every human moves out of the way. There can only be one, just like Highlander, right? And I'm sure I was wearing some kind of this, I don't know what the hell that shirt is, but we'll just call that like New Jersey Italian shirt or something. So when you look at this, this strategy of this leader, your leaders, right? They need to understand training, coaching, and managing. And you need to understand, take things from other industries in. And that's why I'm not a best practice organization no more. I sold that. Now I'm a life, business, and wealth by design is what Food Dog Groups were. I call us the secret ingredient or the secret weapon out there because we have strategies. We take a strategy from a cybersecurity company or an AI company, or we take it from a nutrition company and we say, what's the strategy here that we could put in, not just in your companies. Remember, we got a portfolio company and our goal is to grow our portfolio company by 2030. I'd like to hit 500 million in that portfolio. So we're not teaching you shit, everybody, and I'm going to finish this up. I'm not teaching you stuff we did 50 years ago. You're learning right now what we're doing in our companies, in our portfolio companies, and we just did it last week. That's what we're teaching you, okay? That's what we're teaching you. So here's what I have for you guys. My last little closing message besides, I hope you had a good time. And did you learn a little bit? Type in boom in the chat bar if you learned a little bit. If you'd like to attend SOP for the $499 and you're not signed up for it, here's what I'd like for you to do. Put in the TMAT, put in TMAT. I just want you to go to the email and just email the email and just say in the subject line, SOP, please. And put your cell number in there. And my team will reach out to you and they'll get you signed up. They'll give you a pay link, you pay for it. We'll get you signed up. You'll get the recording and you're going to get a whole, I promise you, you'll probably get at least $10,000 worth of free shit that I'll give you. Because if you've been in my world, you know, we over deliver. Number two, if you want to squeeze in for sales power next week, just type in sales power and put your cell phone number, because then I'll talk to you myself. I'll text you. I'll make sure it's a fit. If I don't think it's a fit, I'll tell you, don't come to it. If I think it's a fit, come to it. And if none of those work and you want to know about our other trainings we have coming up, which they're selling out really, really fast because they're all, we got a wealth training that will come up the end of the year. We'll put in an events tab. So can you put the event Food Dog Events link in, please. And everybody on here, click on this link so it opens up. You could look at it when we're done. Okay, you could look at it when we're done. I don't want you to look at it now, and cruise through there. And if you see something in there that you think is gonna help you win, and you feel that we can be a part to help you in winning the game of life, business, and wealth, you hit us up. Otherwise, I just want to let you know from me and the whole Food Dog team here, thank you for staying longer with us. We're honored to serve you. We love you. We're rooting for you. And if we can help you, just hit the team at. Otherwise, boom. Have a great night, everybody.